Good people. How are you? Habari zenu, long time. Wanja here. I know my background and my location looks a bit different. It's different. I'm not in my home, but I'm going to just make this video. I'm making this video first to say hello to you guys, my followers. I'm really happy the audience is growing. If you see this video, help me by subscribing. So the reason why I've decided to make this video is because there is a trending topic that is in the Kenyan media right now. It's the issue of domestic violence. Guys, don't think I'm naked, I have clothes. So good people, it's the issue of domestic violence. It's the issue of basically people beating people. The reason why this story is trending is because away or aside from the stories that we've had in the past, it has always been the women being beaten by the men, being harmed by the men, in the worst case scenario being killed by the men. But the story that is trending right now, it is a story of a young, very famous safari rally driver. And the story is that it is alleged that she caused bodily harm and she harmed her boyfriend, who is currently in hospital. All this is alleged. The matter is under investigation, but it has been reported that way in mainstream media and in the blogs. And you also know that she was arraigned in court where she was released on 100,000 cash bail. So why did I decide to do this video at this time? Well, first and foremost, it is because Kenyans are talking, and when people are talking, it's a beautiful thing. So the issue of gender-based violence, the issue of women, the issue of people hurting others and what have you, it's an area that I've been engaged in terms of work, in terms of policy, in terms of trainings. So it's an issue that I am familiar with. But that said, it's also a very sad issue because when it comes to violence, there's no real winner. It is just some person will be hurt, the other one will go to jail, that one will break a leg, the other one will, relationships will break, love will break, what have you. This comes around 12 days. Sorry guys, don't mind me. Let me be a bit academic. From November 25th to December 10th, there was what people were referring to as 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. So basically, for the 16 days between November 25th and that 10th, it was just people sitting down and saying no violence, no violence, no violence. But it just so happens that in our side of the world, we really never focus on the violence against men, we focus on the violence against women. Understandably so, because for the most part, it's the women who are usually hurt, but increasingly the men are also victims and survivors of gender-based violence. So what do I want to say about gender-based violence? So this is inspired by obviously the sad story that is trending, and I really wish the boyfriend will recover well. I hope he'll get justice. I hope the girl. So basically, it's not about Maxine, the safari rally driver, and the boyfriend. I'm just doing a general conversation. So what do I want to say? Is that in our country, we rarely talk about violence. And when we do, we talk it funny. Hey, when you hear your friend has been beaten, you say, hey, wacha nikwambie Njeri. Mimi mambo ya watu wawili wanawashawahi kujifunika kwa blanketi moja, I don't want to talk about it. Hey, wacha nikwambie, hizi vitu ni za watu wawili. Even when people go to the police station, unfortunately, even in some of our law enforcement agencies, the ones that are not well trained, our agencies will always say something like, hiyo ni mambo ya familia, usikuje kutuambia. So what is domestic violence? Depending on how you want to define it, how you want to call it is really dependent on your level of knowledge. So the naming and the terminologies are not what I'll belabor on. But violence is violence, and it takes many shapes and forms. In Kenya, we mostly focus on physical violence. Alimchapa, macho yangu ni ya black, That one is called physical violence. it's physical. There is an physical evidence. Hapa akamtoa meno, akamtoa jicho, whatever, physical. But we rarely talk about other forms of violence. We are talking about psychological violence. Mtu anakutusi, nakwambia wewe, hata sijui nilikutaka kwa nini, vile uko mnono, tumbo yako ni kubwa, sikupendi, psychological violence. Economic violence, mtu anakunyang'anya pesa, anakukataza ufanye kazi, anakusabotage vitu zako za business ndio ukae fala. That is economic violence. We also rarely talk about psychosocial, psychological, kama zinakaribiana, ni mtu kukusumbua kichwa, what have you. So maybe without getting too much academic, those issues are there. Those are lived realities in our community. But as a Kenyan now, where you are when you watch this video, what would you do if something like that happens to you? As a man or a woman, what would you do if someone is beating you, if someone is harassing you, if someone is taking away your peace, if someone anakutusi vibaya unakasirika? So there's a very important number. It's a government number. Inaitwa 1195. So if you ever go through violence, just call that number. It's a government number under the Ministry of Gender, and they'll be able to help you. Also, if you Google like where to report for gender-based violence, there are a lot of NGOs in Kenya zenye huwa zinasaidia watu wanaundergo gender-based violence. So it's unfortunate that it's happening, but it's a true reality. The boyfriend of that Safari girl, based on the media reports, he's doing very badly. It's unfortunate, and we wish it doesn't end up very badly. But unfortunately, these are things that are happening in Kenya. Even if they happen to the girl, the Safari girl, the reason why we know about it is because she's famous. But let's not forget that it's also happening in our villages. Pali watu hata hawajulikani na media, and it's a sad reality. So remember, 1195 is a very useful number if you're undergoing violence. But most importantly, let's restrain ourselves. If you have anger issues, just try and restrain your anger issues. Avoid trouble, avoid places where you'll get angry, avoid places where you'll get into violence, because it's better if you are single and free other than getting into trouble with the law. It always ends badly. So I wish you well, I wish you peace, and thank you for being part of my YouTube family. Subscribe. Bye.